Hi everyone, so welcome back. It's an Apex video this time. I know I've been doing a lot of Rocket League lately and haven't really been playing as much Apex Legends, to be honest, just because Season 7 has been one of those sort of seasons that, if I'm being absolutely fair with it, I haven't liked a large majority of the things, struggled with the game in a lot of regards, and yeah, it hasn't been as much fun. But I have to say that this particular match was very entertaining, very exciting, and kind of worked out to being a really good match. And I hope you guys do enjoy the background footage. Now, one thing I will say, just before I go into it, of course, is that I do ideally plan to make more content for Season 8, but some of the things I'm going to talk about while the background sort of like match plays, I do kind of just want to really highlight just a few things that maybe I'm looking forward to in Season 8, although I do plan to do another video, maybe a little bit more detailed tomorrow. No guarantees with it, so that's kind of why I just want to talk about it now, and realistically, I just kind of want to go through just a few things and just say, yeah, let's enjoy the Apex Legends as it can be, and go from there. So as you can see, a nice exciting landing, pretty much just straight hot drop, which is nice because Refinery can be a little bit hit and miss. In regards to sort of like the gaming then, so of course a big thing that I've sort of spoken about in Season 7 has been a lot of crossplay console lag. So sometimes you're not seeing the bullets, you're getting shot, you don't even know you're getting hit. The hit registration is kind of funky, and of course with pretty much anything on console, I think that it is happening on PC as well, but obviously depending on your specification, it may well be a lot better than what we're getting on PS4 at least, and probably Xbox as well. What's happening is that you just don't even realise you're being shot, the steel shield is being stripped, you're dying straight away, and it's a little bit of a nightmare. So my expectations of Season 8 is that they are going to do maybe a few fixes. I don't think it's going to all be sorted overnight, because let's be honest, Apex Legends has been well known for being a great game in many ways, but it has a lot of problems and a lot of things that they're not doing. And although they're saying that they are listening to the community, which to some degree they do, character balancing, the lag, the terrible audio. They have an audio team that's supposed to be fixing this. The audio is absolutely dreadful, and this is one of the worst. Now, considering that I currently use a £80 headset, I'm literally like half the time going, where was that coming from? And my friends are saying exactly the same thing. So that is a little bit disappointing, and obviously I really hope that like that, along with the new legend, the new map changes, I'm kind of hoping Kings Canyon is going to be a lot better than it was. I mean, I like Kings Canyon, I always have, but personally, I'm an OG player, so I would have loved the original Kings Canyon with Skulltown and Thunderdome to be back, and it's very disappointing that so far we haven't seen that. I'm hoping these new changes improve the map rather than last season they haven't, but I still miss Kings Canyon. Even with the changes, I still missed it, because I'll be honest, I really feel that it is definitely probably my favourite map, if I'm being absolutely truthful. Anyway, so with that aside, like I say, I do plan to do a more detailed video on it, and I would like to sort of, kind of add just a few elements of, different changes I like to see, and a few little bits in this one, but I'd like to do an in-depth one tomorrow. Now, actually, I am posting this video quite late. I kind of messed up my sleep pattern. I'm awake at 3 o'clock in the morning just after, and that's when I'm actually getting this uploaded, and needless to say, it is a little bit of a strange time to be uploading, and I kind of do plan to try and upload them at a much more reasonable time, although I don't really know with YouTube whether there is an algorithm for time that you should upload. If anyone does know when the best time to upload a video is, let me know, because being newer to YouTube and uploading videos and things, still going through the process of finding out some things and just learning, I don't really know whether there's something that, like words to use in the word search. I've done a few, but, I think there's a few things that really do kind of make a difference, and I haven't really discovered it fully yet. So if there's anything that you guys can share with me that would kind of help get the content out there, get more people seeing it, that would be absolutely amazing. But, obviously, I don't expect miracles, so, yeah, don't expect anything much. But, if you guys do want to drop something, a big thumbs up from me. So obviously with this one then, you're pretty much seeing the sort of like the fighting. We ended up in Train Yard. pretty much at this point, it's just, you know, kind of like sorting through some loot, which, you know, yeah, really kind of should be quicker at, but we kind of knew there wasn't anyone there. Just wanted a Phoenix kit just in case we did get into some sort of fight. And of course, this is where the big thing came. Boy, did we get into a fight. So basically, it doesn't actually really carry out fully in Trainyard, which is actually good, because I really don't like Trainyard on World's Edge. One of my least favourite sort of places. We hear shooting over in the distance, and of course then we go running. But to be fair, we didn't really expect what we encountered, and how it works out is kind of one of those things where, you know, these matches are kind of funny because Apex is so variable. But this match, you know, there was some lag and some things happening, but to be honest, it probably wasn't the most laggy match we'd played, which is good, because let's face it, you know, I'll always take a much less laggier match. So there's shooting coming up from behind the rocks. Of course, we realised then that there were two people hiding on the rock over there. Luckily, being Bloodhound, I can kind of identify some things, so I run up to do a scan, pick up that there are two people hiding behind the rock, and of course then that is when it all kind of goes a little bit pear-shaped. JHD suddenly knocked by a Kraber. Where did that shot come from? Now I then try and like do a shield. I get stuck on a rock trying to heal up. How awful was this? This game is not looking very good. Luckily, our saviour, Viper, had managed to get a revive on JHD with a gold backpack. He smartly uses his ult, runs over to me, confusing the enemy, and manages to actually get me up as well. And this is the turning point for this particular game, because this could have been a disaster. We could have been wiped out. You know, okay, a few kills maybe, but, you know, in Apex, it is always nice to clutch out a win or to, you know, do well. This one was absolutely, it's paramount that he got those revives, did really well, and whoever said that Mirage is useless? I don't know, I think he's actually pretty good, but you've got to know how to use him, and I think that is why people struggle, because he's a character that people just don't know how to use properly, and it does take time. He's a character you have to kind of play a lot, and I watched a Zeus video actually not too long ago that was really high level and just so amazing. I would advise to check that out, actually, to be honest, because it was such a good Mirage video that anyone wanting to even pick him up or possibly play him kind of see him in a whole different light. Now, although I can't expect us to kind of pull that off as normal players, it still was really, really good, and Viper did amazing in getting our team revived, because let's face it, that could have been a totally different story, and it could have been game over. Now, of course, everyone decides to suddenly shoot us. I don't know why, we just suddenly become the targets, or they're obviously the more dangerous people. Right, let's try and take them down, and it becomes a bit of a shooting contest, which was very frustrating, but, you know, this does happen in Apex Legends, as we all know. And this is pretty much the last match that we'll be playing before Season 8 drops, so it's kind of nostalgic, kind of weird. Not nostalgic for Season 7 and how ghastly it was, but just kind of moving forwards, you just kind of hope that there's going to be new things, and kind of not just new content, but new things in regards to changes with the balancing a little bit. You know, some characters do need balancing. I don't think it's as bad as some, but I think there are definitely some balances that need to be done. But a big thing for me, I mean, even if they don't touch the game's balancing, the one thing I want to see in Season 8 is, of course, you know, the lag reduced. Obviously, I know that you're not going to get rid of lag. I mean, you know, that was asking maybe too much, but some improvements, some stability, and the audio needs improving. It's so awful. Anyway, getting back into the fight, luckily beast up. The guy doesn't see me. I use the Hemlock at close range, don't ask, and then I use the Eva at long range, don't ask. It worked, and I got the kills. Hey, if it works, why change it, eh? But yeah, that wasn't the intentional plan. It's just that they were a bit closer than I expected at first. Probably could have dropped a scan, but of course they seemed quite confused and kind of distracted. It is now us and one other team. Oh yes, they're the campy team. Luckily they weren't the one with the Kraber. So luckily JHD grabbed that one, so we had a little bit of range and a little bit of close-up combat as well. This puts us into quite a good position because we're more in the ring than they are. We knew they were going to have to reposition, and this is where, of course, a big shooting contest comes out. Luckily, having the range shots, you can just chip away, do a little bit of damage. You know, at this point, you know it's between them and us. And it's funny as well, because one of the strangest things about it, I mean, it isn't super strange, but I haven't seen it that much, because we've got a Wraith, a Mirage, and a Bloodhound, which is me. but the other opposing team, that the last team in this fight, had exactly the same 3 legends. How about that? So you've got a Mirage, Bloodhound, and Wraith. How crazy. But there you go. So we literally becomes a bit of a long-range shooting contest, you know, a little bit of kind of like try and do some damage, just kind of, you know, not kind of overextend, get yourself knocked down. And this is kind of one of those things where this game was actually the most intense game that we have had in absolutely ages. And it is just one of those ones. It's, you know, nice to play an exciting game. This is what Apex is about, and this is the part that I really love about the game. I just wish that there were some other fixes and some improvements. So fingers crossed for Season 8 we're going to see them, because yeah, we'd literally, it would be the nicest thing just to see a few little changes, little adjustments, and then we could move forward into Season 8, and it'll be a whole new season that we like and enjoy a lot more. And I don't know, I mean, let me know how you guys have found Season 7. Have you enjoyed it? Have you liked Horizon? I know she has been a pretty proper legend, or very popular, and you know, actually had a couple of nerfs when the sort of like the collection event came out, but has that changed it really? I mean, I don't play Horizon at all, so honestly I haven't really looked at it, but you know, do let me know. It'd be an interesting one in that regard. Is she still a really strong character? I assume she is. She seems still pretty good. I think it was just her tactical that got like slightly reduced in cooldown. Is that going to make a difference? And do you guys think that Fuse will be insanely broken come Season 8, actually? That was another thing, because he looks quite an interesting character, but is he going to be an insanely broken character? Is he going to be quite balanced, or is he going to be underwhelming like they did with Loba and Revenant initially, until of course they then went and buffed them? I'm kind of hoping for the slightly more powerful initially, like Horizon. I mean, you know, yeah, the Horizon thing, you know, maybe a lot of people complain about, but realistically, you know, it's like anything. I'd rather probably that than, and then sort of slowly reduce it, than being just underwhelming and just being not exciting at all. Anyway, back to the match. So of course, we are literally getting blown up by grenades, which is me. Luckily, I've got a gold shield, so quite easy to kind of heal up. And of course, then they are pushing towards the little vehicle as their sort of point of shelter. Pretty much kind of becomes a kind of a tactical battle at this point. The storm is really small. You know, you're having to kind of, you know, just do a couple of things here and there that are kind of picking at their damage. And of course, then this is the probably the worst part. So at one point, I realised that of course I am still in the carriage. I get shot up a lot, which again I knew. We had a minute left, so I knew they weren't going to push, so plenty of time to kind of heal. And of course, Wraith's done a portal, JHD's done a portal over into the far rock, so I knew that there was something there initially, but it disappeared, I think, eventually. So, you know, like anything there, we just kind of had to hold our position, and at one point I have to make a run for it, which is probably the bit that I didn't like, kind of annoying, but you know, it paid off luckily, and then this is where I take the run. Now, I do take some damage, I do a bit of jumping, a bit of sliding. Luckily, I didn't get absolutely melted, which is really good. Big shield batteries come in handy, and of course, then we know that we've got a little bit of position, and I can do the scan. All 3 of them are behind the car. I can tell my other 2 friends on mic that that's where it is, and of course, then literally just waiting for a bit of combat. And we knew that this was going to come down to just that little final edge of kind of combat. Could we knock someone? Could we take them down? They started throwing grenades. I beasted the hunt up. Literally, one of them got knocked by JHD. Take the other down by, of course, the Eva. Kill that one. And then we just literally push for the kill. At this point, we know that we're 3 against 1. And we take them down. Absolutely amazing. What a game. What a finish. What a way to end Season 7. So I hope you found that the content was fun, enjoyable, and informative. If you did, a like on the video really helps me out. And if you want to subscribe for future content, please do. Otherwise, I shall see you in Season 8 Apex. Take care. Bye-bye.